Bob's Bombastic Bean Soup Day.
In the sprawling, tech-laden heart of Tech Giant Inc., Bob, a comfortably rotund IT wizard, reigned supreme in his cluttered, dimly lit office adjacent to the server room. This kingdom, a chaotic blend of tangled cables, half-eaten pizza boxes, and flickering computer screens, was his fortress of solitude. The phone, his constant companion, rang off the hook, each call answered with a monotone. "Have you tried restarting your PC?" Bob was the master of the restart your PC mantra, a phrase he dispensed like a sage doling out wisdom. But on this day, a day that would go down in Tech Giant lore, Bob indulged in a culinary delight that would set off a chain reaction of epic and aromatic proportions: his beloved bean soup, extra onions seasoned with a hint of garlic. Little did he know, this meal was about to launch him into an odyssey of epic, gaseous proportions. Post-indulgence, as the clock hands inched forward, Bob felt the ominous stirrings of the bean soup catastrophe. His first attempt at relief was the company elevator. "Perfect. No one's here," he sighed, stepping in. But as he prepared for liftoff, Mrs. Henderson from accounting entered, her nose twitching like a bloodhound. Bob, in a panic, desperately pressed the button for the next floor, mumbling about forgotten files. In the kitchen, Bob's next attempt was thwarted by a gaggle of interns, animatedly discussing the latest tech gossip. He tried to act nonchalant, humming a tune, trying to blend in with the fridge. But as he subtly shifted his weight, ready to let nature take its course, the janitor, Old Joe, ambled in, broom in hand, eyeing Bob suspiciously. Bob, sweating bullets, quickly retreated, muttering about a sudden meeting. The underground garage, with its echoes and distant car alarms, seemed the perfect cover. Bob, now in a state of desperation, positioned himself between two cars. Just as he relaxed, a group of executives emerged, deep in discussion about plummeting stocks. The timing of Bob's explosive relief coincided perfectly with their approach, causing them to halt mid-sentence, looking around in bewilderment. Bob, feigning interest in a nearby car's engine, scuttled away as they eyed him with suspicion. As the day wore on, Bob's predicament worsened. He envisioned catastrophic scenarios, each more embarrassing than the last. His mind raced with headlines like "IT Guy Ignites Smelly Chaos" or "Tech Giant's Foul Cloud Mystery." He couldn't let that happen. At 5 p.m., Bob couldn't bear the mounting pressure. He made a beeline for the cinema next door, a haven where the thunderous sounds of the war movie explosions galore promised to mask his impending eruption. Settling into his seat amidst the cacophony of cinematic explosions, Bob felt a glimmer of hope. "This is it," he thought, "my chance for sweet, noisy relief." He timed his internal countdown with the on-screen action, ready for the grand, ear-splitting explosion to camouflage his own. But, in an unforeseen twist, the movie's tone shifted dramatically. The scene changed to a picturesque meadow, bathed in sunlight, where the hero was tenderly holding an engagement ring, poised to propose to his love. The cinema fell into a reverent silence, the soft buzz of bees the only sound. And then, Bob's moment of truth arrived. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of Bob's liberation echoed through the silent hall like a cannon, amplified by the acoustics of the room. The audience, stunned by the force of a sonic boom, gasped. Some chuckled, but soon faces twisted in horror as the true impact hit them: the overwhelming stench. Chaos erupted. People scrambled for the exits, tripping over one another in their haste as Bob sat in his seat, feigning shock and innocence. The movie ground to a halt, lights flickered on, and the sound of sirens filled the air as emergency services descended upon the cinema, preparing for a disaster of unknown origins. Meanwhile, Bob, a mix of relief and embarrassment, slipped out amidst the pandemonium. He made a solemn vow to himself, under the glow of streetlights, never to succumb to the siren call of bean soup again. Back inside, as the confusion settled, a young couple, caught between horror and amusement, chuckled amidst the fiasco. Did you hear that? It was like a bomb. It almost blew out my eardrums. They laughed, finding a silver lining in the absurdity of the situation. Thus, the legend of Bob's Bean Soup Day was born, whispered in hushed tones around Ted's Giant. It became a tale of caution and humor, a reminder of the perils of dietary choices and their unexpectedly explosive consequences.